Hello YouTube, Eddie from Keystone Productions back with a brand new video, and this is the second video in my 5 days of videos celebrating my 5th anniversary on YouTube. And today is the moment I've been waiting for about 2 or 3 months now. This is the Mega Hot Wheels case unboxing, the video where I show most of the die-cast Hot Wheel cars that I bought in 2015. Now, I say most because I opened, I'd say about 25% or so of the cars that I purchased this year. So before I get into what's inside this box, let me just show you some of the cars that I already opened and were also featured in the Thanksgiving preview of this video. So here we have the Ford Escort RS 1600. This was from the Fast and Furious movie. I'm told it's a very, very fast track car, so that has that going for it. It's a really nice model, really good details. Overall, really, really cool model. If you can find it, I would highly recommend getting it, but I'm pretty sure most stores are carrying 2016 cars already. Here we have my slightly customized Dodge Challenger Hellcat. Around the back, you'll see that I sharpied the exhaust a little bit. And around the front, I sharpied in the grille and headlights because it drives me nuts that this tampo here, the Hellcat logo, Hot Wheels has the rule that they can only tampo 3 sides of the cars. So this little logo counts as the tampo for the entire side. So they did the rear, which is a side, they did the Hellcat logo, which is one side, and they did the Hellcat logo on this side. So that's 3 sides. So they couldn't do anything for the front, which really annoyed me. So I had to get my Sharpie out and take care of that. But otherwise, this is a really, really nice model, and I'm really happy to have it because that's one of my favorite cars in real life. Another one of my favorite cars is the McLaren P1 done up in orange. This is the first edition of this model. As you'll see, I have more inside this box, still sealed. This is a really, really nice model, really fast car. It would be a miracle if I ever owned this car in real life, but I certainly would love to try and make that happen. Next we have a more realistic dream car. It's the 2014 Corvette Stingray. This is the convertible version. I again sharpied the exhaust and the front grille because Hot Wheels couldn't do that, so I had to do it for myself. Otherwise, it's a really, really, really nice model. I love this car so much. This model, the car in real life. I even have Maystow's version, the 1/24th scale. I'll show that in a different video, but I just wanted to point out that I do have that car. Sticking with the Corvettes, we have the C7R in yellow. I again sharpied this up a little bit, the tail lights, and I tried to do the front end as best I could. It didn't turn out that great, so I'll have to try again, but this is a fantastic model of the car. It's also a fantastic car in real life. Moving to the second to last car, this was a super treasure hunt for the K case of 2015. This is the 2008 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. A really, really nice looking model. Nice rally tempos. Overall, it's a really nice model. It's pretty big actually, and one of the few models that I seem to have that have all 4 windows closed. And lastly, a pretty cool model or two, it's the Loopster. Now, I at one point had 15 of these models, the red version only, both with the hands up and hands down. Now, what I mean by that is this little guy here, Hot Wheels had an interior variation, the interior meaning these 4 guys. Some models had him with the hands up, other models had him like the other 3 with their hands down. I seem to have kept 2 hands up out of the 15 I have. I no longer had the other 13 because I needed money to get more cars, so I returned them and exchanged them for better cars. But these are really cool models. I have yet to try them on the track, but I'm looking forward to having them chained together going through the loops. Now, that was a long enough introduction showing off the models I already showed in another video. Let's talk about what's pictured in front of you on camera. We have, as this code suggests, a 2016 A-case assortment. However, that's not the case. this is a box that once held the 2016 A-Case assortment. Around 3 o'clock in the morning on Black Friday, I was in a Target. I scanned a model car, a Hot Wheels car, and it said they had more in the back, so I asked if they could bring out a case, and they brought this out. Now, this is not the 2016 A-Case assortment, because I left 72 of those cars on the pegs. As you'll see as we open this case up and go through it, this contains all the models I still have that are sealed inside of this case. So I basically just used this box as a method for storage. So without further ado, let's play the intro to this video and get started with the mega case unboxing. Alrighty, here we go, the Mega Hot Wheels case unboxing. Now as you'll see, I used some creative packing methods. I used the standard 6 rows of 6 cars used by Hot Wheels to ship the cars, but then I also included some on the sides. So let's take a look at what I have on the sides first. We have 2 mystery models. If you don't know anything about the mystery models, they have a code printed on the front of the bag, which correlates to the model list printed on the back of the bag. Now on the front it had 03, so that means that inside this bag should be the 83 Corvette Stingray, the gold chase piece for this assortment. And if you look inside the window here, you'll see some nice gold coloring, and that's because inside is the Corvette Stingray done up in gold. Now I have one version of this car that I already opened, but I will take a closer look at all 3 of these in a separate video. Now moving on to the last car that's stored sideways is a car that I wasn't originally planning on buying. It's the 90 Acura NSX. Now I have the red version, as you'll see, the original red version, and as you will see in a later video, I have the blue version from the 2016 C-Case, so I figured it'd be appropriate to buy the white version while it was still on the pegs. But now that we have all the cars loaded in on their sides out of the way, let's take a look at all the cars that are loaded in regularly. Right off the top, we have the Star Trek USS Enterprise. Pretty nice model. I don't really know anything about Star Trek, but I do know that this card is absolutely destroyed. I have no idea what happened to it, but I'm very sorry that it had to live such a terrible life. Next we have the Ollie Rocket, which was a custom model designed in part by Make-A-Wish Foundation with Oliver E. Now if you pause the video, you can read that. It's a pretty good story. I'll take a look at the story when I do the diecast showcase on that model. And then we have a fantasy model, the Speed Box. It's pretty cool with the chrome and the glow-in-the-dark wheels. I have the red version that was released earlier in the year, but I already opened that, so it won't be in this video. Next we have 2 more fantasy models, the D-Muscle and the remake of the original Redline bifocal. We have the Super Chrome bifocal 2. And at the very bottom here we have the 68 Copo Camaro, which is really nice. Simple decals, really nice model all around. Next we have an old model. This is from 2014, the 68 Dodge Dart. And we have 2 regular versions of Super Treasure Hunts, the 65 Mustang 2+2 Fastback and the 70 Plymouth Superbird. Both of these were made into Super Treasure Hunts, the Mustang in the L case, the Plymouth Superbird in the P case. These are just the regular versions, but regardless, they are really nice models, and I can't wait to open the Superbird and put it next to the Hudson Hornet I have from the 2016 B case assortment. Next we have 2 fantasy/realistic models. It's the 69 Chevelle, really souped up and everything, with transparent bodies. These are X-Racer models, so it's an interesting representation of the 69 Chevelle. I kind of like it, but I really like this fantasy model. It's the 8 Crate. Just like the Mustang and the Plymouth Superbird, this was a Super Treasure Hunt for the J case of 2015. This is the regular version though, but it still really pops, and I really like it. This is one of my favorite fantasy castings that Hot Wheels has made. Next we have some older cars. We have the Fast and Furious Corvette Grand Sport Roadster. We have the Nissan Skyline 2000 GTX. And we have the 68 Mercury Cougar. And if I'm not mistaken, this was the first color done for this casting. Next we're moving into some more performance-based cars. We have my favorite hypercar, the McLaren P1, done up in silver, and 2 sealed versions of the orange. And we have some Italian cars in the Lamborghini Huracan LP610-4, the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta, and the Ferrari 599XX. This one was also a super treasure hunt for the E case, I believe, or the D case, I'm not entirely sure. It was very nice, but this is just the regular version. But it is a nice rendition of the Ferrari 599XX. Next we have some pretty powerful cars. We have a sealed version of the Challenger Hellcat. We have the 15 Jaguar F-Type Project 7, which is an interesting model. I don't really understand why they have a white circle on the door, but it's alright, I guess. And then we have the Tesla Model S, which, even though the Matchbox counterpart is so much better, I have to say this rendition isn't too bad. I'd say this is the more track-ready looking version with the air brake spoiler and the unfortunately sloped up chin. The front end, so this car can go through the loops on Hot Wheels track, is sloped up, and that drives a lot of collectors nuts, including myself, but it's really just for the kids. Next we have a pretty sought after car, the Datsun 240Z. Then we have the Scion FRS and the Nissan 180, lots of letters after that. I really like the simulated pop-up headlights on the Nissan. That looks really, really cool. And I do like the red, white, and blue livery on the Datsun. Next we have the Custom 15 Ford Mustang. Actually a really cool model. I don't think I'm going to get any more different colors of this model, but it is a pretty cool model done up in red. We have the original 90 Acura NSX, and then we have the Honda S2000, another one of my absolutely favorite models Hot Wheels has done. Now the last 6 cars on the bottom, or on the top of this case rather, we have a bunch of Corvettes. We have the 14 Corvette Stingray, the 14 Corvette Stingray, the 14 Corvette Stingray, and the 09 Corvette ZR1. Now, to my knowledge, I have every color of the 2014 Corvette Stingray that was made in the mainline version, except for the red coupe version. That was the first edition of this car. So if you have an extra red version of the Corvette Stingray, let me know, see if we can work out a deal for it, because I really would like to have that red version of the car. But I do have these 3, and I have the Golf livery on the ZR1. And the last 2 cars I have in the top of this case are pretty cool models. The Simpsons family car and the Snoopy, both some really nice fantasy models. Now that's it for the top of the case. Let's take a look at the bottom. I'll just remove the cardboard, and the top 2.5 rows are all trucks. So let's take a look at the trucks I have. We have the 3 duties. We have the rescue duty, we have the repo duty, and we have the diesel duty. 3 really cool trucks based off of each other. I really like these. I'm not a big fan of repo duty, but I do quite like this color of the rescue duty, and this was the first color. I thought it was the first color of diesel duty. I guess it's not, because it doesn't have the new model. Never mind. Next we have some 3 really cool trucks. The Volkswagen Caddy. I was reluctant on getting this, but I finally did. Then we have the Chevy C10, which is absolutely glorious in the yellow and orange flames. But then we have a really cool model. I love this version so much. The 65 Ford Ranchero. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous with the red and the white and blue flames. Next we have some off-roady trucks. We have a Hummer Humvee. We have the Toyota off-road truck, the regular version, not the Super. And we have the off-duty. And similar to the Corvettes, I believe I have every mainline color of the off-duty. Some more trucks, we have the Subaru Brat, which is a really cool model. I had a tough time finding this one. Then we have the Jeep Scrambler from 2014, and unfortunately the lowrider Chevy Silverado. I say unfortunately because as much as this casting excites me, it's a pretty cool casting. I prefer the souped up version in the real rider segment. The low riding version looks cool, but I prefer the real to life version because I've never seen one low riding Chevy Silverado. The last truck we have is the 67 Austin minivan with the crazy tampos all over the place. When I saw the red and white version of it in the 2016 D case, I thought to myself, that model looks so weird with a realistic, not crazy tampo job, but it does look pretty cool. Next we have two high-tech missiles, two different variations. I have a plan for those coming up later in the future, and I also have a plan for these three GT cars: the blue Corvette C7R, the black Aston Martin Vantage GT3, and the GT Hunter, a fantasy GT racer. Moving along, we have, I don't know why, but I do have the three colors of the BMW E36 M3 Race. I do have the fourth color, which is blue. That's somewhere in my collection. And I don't know why I bought all four colors of this car, because I don't like it that much. But nevertheless, I do have it. Moving along, we have an error car here. It is the winning formula. It has a tampo error here, and it's actually flipped backwards. As you might have noticed in all the other cars, the nose is pointed towards the right, but this one's pointed towards the left. So, although it's not a rare error, it's a pretty cool one. Then, if we bypass that car and go to these three, we have three Driftas. Now, this is, I assume, is a drift car. We take a look at the back, specialty drift car right there. I have a plan to customize two of these three. That'll be unveiled, I'd say, by the summertime, by the time I get around to it. And then we have four Rig Storms, and similar to the Driftas, I plan on customizing these four cars. They're all exactly the same. The glow-in-the-dark wheels with the see-through black body. It's one of my favorite fantasy models, just like the 8 crate. I was lucky enough to find the treasure hunt from the 2016 A case, which was the Rig Storm. Then we have a special model. It is the only Zamac car I have. If you don't know what Zamac means, it stands for zinc, aluminum, magnesium, and copper, and that is the formula for making a Hot Wheels diecast. Now, the Zamac cars are pretty unique because there's no paint on them. It's the bare metal with some tampos and a clear coat of gloss on the car, and that's it. And that makes it look really, really cool. It's the only one I have because this was the only one I was able to find, actually. And the only one, well, I was able to find the Dodge ACR or something and the Surf Crate, but I don't really care for those models, so I just picked up this one. But it looks really, really nice, and I'm happy I was able to find that, because I was not expecting to come upon that. My apologies for that, my iPod ran out of memory. But anyway, as I was saying, the last mainline model I have is the Team Hot Wheels livery Let's Go. Now, this is a unique car because Lego figures are compatible with this. Now, if I have my Lego figure with me, I could show you, if I had this open. But anyway, a Lego figure can actually hang off the spoiler here, hang onto the engine here, or sit or stand on these two studs here, and actually hang on to the front bumper right there. So this is a pretty cool car. It's from, as you can see there, it gives you the 3 out of the 4 different places where you can place a minifigure. So this is a pretty cool model. And now we get into the special exclusive series that I have. I have 3 of the 8 Fast and Furious models: the Dodge Charger Daytona, the Subaru WRX STI, and the Ford GT40. Now, at one point I had all of the cars except for the 70 Dodge Charger, but because I didn't have that one, I just returned the other 4 because I didn't really care for them as much. and I didn't think it'd be right to be missing one single car. But at any rate, I really like these three, and I'm happy to have them. And the last three cars in this video are from the Porsche series: the Porsche 918 Spyder, the Porsche 993 GT2, and the Porsche Carrera GT. All really, really nice models. The card art on these is absolutely fantastic, and I'm happy I've made this video so I can crack these open, because this car right here looks absolutely fantastic in the blister, and I cannot wait to open it up. But that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you're able to stick through all the way through the end, I hope you enjoyed watching the Mega Hot Wheels case unboxing. And this is a preview video for what's to come in 2016, where I show every car that I buy from each different case assortment. So for I think right after this video series is over, I will do a Keystone Buys video showing the cars I bought from the 2016 A case, and just continue doing the videos as I buy all the cars I'm going to buy from each specific case, because as you notice, I don't buy every car, and I don't specifically hunt for treasure hunts or super treasure hunts. I just enjoy the hobby, like Race Group says, and I buy what I like, and that's how I like to do it. But anyway, thank you again for watching all the way through to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing my Hot Wheels collection that I purchased this past year. And I hope you tune in tomorrow for day 3, which is going to be some gameplay of Real Racing 3. So, thank you once again for watching for the umpteenth time, and I'll see you tomorrow.